obviously driving, and I was thinking, don't you think it's weird that, so we're driving our cars, and like, okay, I'm pulling up a set of lights now, and next to me in the car is someone, I don't know them, I didn't even see if it was a guy or a girl actually, but you don't know who that person is, but they have an entire life and story. And I know that might sound like a dumb thing to say, because of course they're a human being and they have a life and story, but we're so disconnected from other people here in this country in this day and age. Like, even, you know, in some ways I guess it's good because you can be anonymous. Like, I'm glad I don't work in the city, but people walk around the city of Sydney and nobody talks to each other. People are like in their phones, or, you know, and people get annoyed if someone bumps them. It's like, oh, how dare you invade my personal space, you know? But we have this thing, it's like, well, I can disconnect, like forgetting that, you know, we're good at connecting to the people that are close to us and the people in our lives that we love and that we like and all that kind of stuff, and we can, you know, have meaningful connections in our lives, but we're then so distant from the person next to us who, like, you know, has a story as well. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like maybe we could benefit more as a society if people thought more about the people around them, you know. How much more considerate would people be, you know? When I get annoyed that someone is, like, raced ahead of me in traffic, like, yeah, like, it's possible that they're just a massive dickhead and, like, don't have any concern for other people, but it's possible that that person is in a rush because their wife is about to give birth. And I know that's a cliche one to say, but, you know, or when someone, like, you know, bumps into you, like, and you get annoyed because, you know, it spilt your coffee or whatever. Like, you know, imagine what that person's going through. Like, yes, sure, they could just be a klutz or something like that, but they could, you know, be distracted because, you know, their loved one has just died, or they're, like, something has happened, because we all have our own shit, right? Everyone's got something going on, and if they don't, they're just not a person. So, but it's so easy for us to think that, you know, oh, this is just an inconvenience, a person in our way. And so I sometimes think about it when I'm driving, and I sometimes sit there and, like, you know, I'll look in a car and I'll just imagine, like, I wonder what that person's story is. Like, who's this dude in the car next to me? Like, is he married? Does he have a kid? Like, has he gone through a divorce? Did he just get a promotion, you know? Because, I mean, not many people are driving around like, yeah, I'm so excited all the time. Everyone's kind of got their nothing face. And, you know, some people, if they're like me, their nothing face is really like, you know, I'm pissed off with the world is what my nothing face looks like. So I can only imagine when people drive past me, they're like, oh God, like, I wonder what's wrong with that chick. So it's interesting then to think, like, you know, what is then? I'm waiting for someone to actually pull up besides me so I can. Okay, so there's a girl that just, like, we actually caught eye contact, which was a bit weird because, again, you know, can't connect with people. But there was a girl in that car, and I'm going to assume it was her dad driving. The girl looked like maybe she was, like, 17 perhaps, but it looked like her dad was driving her. And, you know, where have they been tonight? Have they been out to dinner with family? Was she on a date and her dad's just picked her up? Are they, like, going away for the weekend? Have they just had a fight in the car because her dad wouldn't let her stay out? Or is she just tired and so looking absently out the window? You know, like, what's her name? Is she, like, an Amy? Is she Emily? Like, who knows? I don't know, I'm rambling again, but I just think it's really interesting. It would, like, serve the world better if more people were just open to acknowledging that person, you know, in the car, that's another person. It's not my world and everyone else is in it. It's everyone's world, and we're all existing parallel to each other. But so many people get wrapped up in this, it's my world, and why won't people, and I do too, and why won't people do what I want and what I want? It's like, well, it's not the world, you hear that, well, the world doesn't revolve around you, Natalie. Not that I've heard that many times, but it's definitely been said to me by my mum. And it's easy for us to forget that everyone's got something going on, and it'd just be nice if we could, connect better with people. The girl definitely just looked at me again, so maybe she's having this same weird conversation with her dad that I'm having with you strangers, which is probably nobody on the other end of the internet. But yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know. It's not a solution for how to fix the world, but it's just maybe if everyone, as an exercise every day, could pick one person and try and think what their story could be. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a depressing train wreck of a story or life, but just pick one person to think about that other person's life. And it's better if it's a stranger, because you don't know what they've gone through. Think of all the things that you've gone through in your life, however old you are, and think about, the human experience is pretty similar. I've been through a few breakups, so is pretty much 99% of girls. Well, probably, I know, that's probably not true. I'm sure there's, plenty of girls that have never had a breakup and, did marry the first love and blah, 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 blah. But there wouldn't be so many, romantic comedies and breakup movies and drama in TV shows if breakups weren't something everyone experienced. And TV can never really portray the full depth of what emotions a person goes through, and again, they're going to be different for each person, but that the pain that people feel, that's a universal thing. Everybody feels some kind of pain, and it's easy for us to, when we're in the middle of it, oh, nobody has ever felt like this before. And I was definitely like that when I was much younger. I would be people would be like, I understand, I've been there. I'm like, no, you don't understand. No one ever felt like this before. No one ever felt, and they'd be like, yeah, my ex-boyfriend did this. I'm like, no, but you didn't have what we had. And it's when I think back on past Natalie, I'm just you were crazy. But a lot of girls react that way in those kind of contexts and situations, so it wasn't abnormal for me to respond like that. And my friends would say, we know you think that you're the only one that's ever experienced this, but it's not true. I'm like, no. And now I'm the one that says that to people. It's everyone's got to feel it at some point. I don't know, feelings make you stronger. There's a line in a Delta Goodrem song that I really like, and it says, a little pain lets you know you're alive. You gotta live and love, not just survive. And life is, you're meant to feel the feelings and feel things, and hopefully they're primarily good things, but if they're not, we'll feel them. But I digress. My point is, find a stranger and try and appreciate what their story is, to give you, if you find yourself feeling self-absorbed and in your own world, find a stranger and imagine what their life is or could be, or if you want, imagine their life all rosy, but everyone has a different struggle. We can't necessarily relate to everybody's struggles. Some people's struggles I can't even fathom. There's people on the other side of the world that are dealing with life and death and war every day, and I'm dealing with, do I want to get out of bed and go to the gym at 5:30 or at 6 o'clock? And which way do I want to go home? Do I want to pay the tolls, or will I spend an extra 10 minutes in the car so that I don't have to pay? Which, for the record, tonight I chose the longer way because I didn't need to pay tolls to get 15 minutes away. And I can talk to you or myself, as the case may be. Anyway, it's been 10 minutes and I realize I keep talking and it's out of hand. But maybe someone will listen to this. If not, it's an interesting record for my future descendants or anyone to discover later on the internet and be like, when people are dearly missing me and they Google my name and they see this, I hope that it's a beautiful representation of all that I brought to the world. Anyway, that's enough thinking for now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.